along here in our 18-wheeler heading through Oklahoma. Got some big 10-4. We're coming up to, what is the town we're coming up to? Wagner, Oklahoma?
Well, we're going to be coming to it, Chateau and Daisy.
Well, first we're going to Chateau, Oklahoma, where they're all fancy French people.
Chateau.
Then we're moving into Wagner, Oklahoma, named after Lyle Wagner, who almost played Batman, but the last minute they cast Adam West. But Lyle Wagner actually later on played Wonder Woman's girlfriend and was on the Carol Burnett show. But this town is named after her. Then we're moving into Pryor, Oklahoma.
This is Chateau.
We're in Chateau. It's just like France here. You can see from the topography, it looks very much like France. Right after it was bombed horribly by the Germans. It has that atmosphere of war-torn destruction. But Oklahoma's a pretty big state. It seems to never fucking end. And,
we gotta drive Texas.
What?
I said we gotta drive Texas.
Well, you can drive Texas, but at least you don't have to look at all the horrible marijuana stores that seem to exist everywhere in this delightful little state. This truck ahead of us, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. See that truck there? That truck contains Joe Biden's urine. It says so on the side. They take the Joe Biden urine to a group of people that live up here in northeast Oklahoma that worship it and bathe in it for its restorative powers. It causes your hair to grow back. After being bald for many decades, all of a sudden hair grows on your head when you rub Joe Biden's urine into your scalp. And that truck in front of us is filled with gallons of Joe Biden urine. So, it's March the 27th?
Probably something like that.
It's probably something like March 27th in the year 2026. 2027 in the year of our Lord. This is the beautiful landscape of Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the breeze, sweeping through the trees, or whatever the hell. How does it go? And the waving wheat would sure smell sweet when the wind comes right behind the rain, right? Our hitchhiker agrees that Oklahoma is a wonderful place. They picked up a hitchhiker back there. There was a sign that said, "Don't pick up hitchhikers because they're probably convicts from the prison." But we picked up this hitchhiker anyway. And over here is Lake Sissy Squat. This is Lake Sissy Squat. The Boggy Creek creatures like to take baths there. Starting to get a little dark here in
7:46.
Where are we at? Chateau, Oklahoma still, or are we in?
I'm not for sure yet. Well, I don't think we went through it yet. Well, that was Wagner back there. We're still coming up on Chateau.
We're coming up on Chateau. Chateau. Yeah. It's a good thing that if you live in Chateau, you don't want to be a stutterer, because you say, I live in Chateau. That would be bad. There was a fire caused by a cigarette from an asshole. I once knew a person whose name was Shiterica. I don't think you should name your children, I don't think you should give them a name when they're born. I don't think the first syllable of their name should be shit. Just personally. Because it's like, your name is Shiterica. It's probably the dad, you know, that was the first thing he said. Shit, Erica, I thought you were on the pill. Oh, Shiterica. That sounds like a beautiful name for our lovely new daughter. Shiterica. Shiterica. Let's see what this sign says. Watch out. Don't hit our workers. Avoid $10,000 fine. Yeah, if you kill our workers, we might fine you $10,000.
What happens if you kill people?
Yeah, if you kill them, it's an extra $5,000, man.
Might be $1 million.
We take our workers seriously. $10,000 fine if you hit them and knock them 100 feet down the road. Yes, indeed. Well, we got on the road about 1 o'clock today, and but you know, we've been on the road for quite a while. 6 days on the road, and we're gonna make it home tonight. God damn it. Another pedestrian. They get in the way. Over here is where they grow lots of marijuana, I'm sure. And there's, I bet that's where they sell marijuana, because there's a green light.
Yeah, they use that building over there.
Yeah, I know, man. That's what I'm saying. I am an alumni instructor and a Brock Fellow. Brock Fellow. Maybe that's his name. He must be running for Congress here in Shitsville, Oklahoma. Yeah, I got to see Boggy Creek. I think I showed you in the previous video, if it's already uploaded. We're gonna lose light soon, and you're not gonna be able to see anything. But there's always the return trip where you'll see lots. Well, back in Grotuville is where my wife Cleo is, my mother-in-law, my dog Drew, and my 2 cats, Pete and Alan, are back there. And we are making 2 runs up to Iowa with 20-foot long U-Hauls. This is their second trip, and we're emptying them. And we've got my car on a trailer behind it. So we turn it in the U-Haul, and then we drive back in my car. Today, people came and took a shitload of boxes that we've been boxing up at the house, and they're gonna bring them up to Iowa. But then we got a lot more boxing to do. They're gonna return on April the 2nd. I believe we gotta be out of there by April the 4th. I think we're gonna have it handled. I'm gonna go and buy a shit ton of long comic book boxes, because they're really good for moving Aurora model kits that are built up. They're just the right size. The Aurora model kits fit right inside of them, and then you just add a few, god damn it, you add a few peanuts and shit. And so yeah, just a lot of work, but at least we're gonna get a lot of the stuff already up there. So we're eventually going to hit the Missouri line, huh?
We're getting close. Well, we got to go. We got to go that way about 50 miles.
About that way, shit. About that way, 50 miles is Missouri.
After we get up this way, we got to get on the interstate.
Good, interstate something or other.
It was originally the old Route 66 way.
Old Route 66. We're gonna get our kicks on Route 66. Our hitchhiker doesn't have a tongue. She was born with leukoplakia, which means that you're born without a tongue. Let's see, I wonder if they sell marijuana in this McDonald's. It's got a green sign there. Or is that a Sinclair gas station? Yeah, Sinclair gas station. How about that? With the dinosaur and everything. Bo Rathbone says they've got those all over California. I didn't know. I thought they were all gone. They got a Dollar General. They've got a Sonic, man. This is a high-class town. They've got an Economy Inn. That looks like where Norman Bates would work. Oh, they got a Brahms. I'm not sure if they have Brahms up in Iowa. In the town of Pryor. As I was telling you, they named Pryor, the town Pryor was named after Richard Pryor.
Chateau. This is Chateau.
We're in Chateau.
Yeah. Here's one of your signs you like.
One of the signs I like? Why, what's it saying?
The Civic Lincoln light.
Oh, yeah, he knows I like these flashy 50s
yeah, they had
signs.
one over on this side, too. It used to be
Oh, I missed it, man. Oh, that's cool. Very cool mid-century stuff. Nature's Fix Dispensary, another marijuana place, man. This is like a hippie's wet dream. There's the Amish Cheese House. And there's Casa Maria's Mexican restaurant. It almost looks like there's a marijuana leaf on the sign. Maybe they put that marijuana into the, instead of cilantro, they use marijuana. There's 69, Highway 69. Speaking of 69, yeah, this town we're coming up in, I mentioned it before, but I don't think I was recording. Richard Pryor set himself on fire back in the late 70s, and the town residents decided they would change the name of the town from Fuckola to Pryor, because they admired Richard Pryor's ability to survive fire. And they also admired that he stole Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, from him. And so they figure if the guy can survive fire and can steal Superman's girlfriend without being thrown through the center of the sun or incinerated or pummeled, because, you know, Superman can do that kind of thing. I'm talking about Margot Kidder, the Lois Lane of that time period. They figure we admire Richard Pryor, we're changing our town name to Pryor. But then Richard Pryor died, and now they're thinking of changing the name of the town to some other person that maybe, I think they're going to change it to Marilyn Manson. They're going to call it Manson because he seems to survive a lot of shit. Manson, Oklahoma. Still not to Missouri. Don't things get prettier when you cross the Missouri line?
Yeah, well, it's hilly. I think it's hilly.
Kind of hilly.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, the reason the U.S. government moved all the Native Americans to Oklahoma is they thought it was the ugliest land, right?
But they didn't think there was anything valuable here.
Huh?
They didn't think anything was valuable here.
They didn't think anything was valuable here. They didn't realize that there were casinos hidden under the ground and also oil. So the Native Americans dug out these ancient casinos that were built by the Anunnaki long before the Sumerian tablets were written. They found these pyramids that were casinos for the Anunnaki, the ancient space aliens that created human beings as slave labor. And now they're quite rich. Although I don't know if Joe Biden allows them to sell the oil because he wants us all to be cold or hot and pay exorbitant prices buying gas from Venezuela as he destroys the country for his masters in China. Not that we're going to be political here on the Garage Warlock channel. Blah, blah. Hey, good buddy. Lay that hammer down with some good CB jargon. How's your hammer hanging, good buddy? Is there smoky in the air? It's been too long since the mid-70s to remember all that inane CB jargon. There used to be books you could buy that would teach you all of that. But Gerald's good friend Fred came and helped us unload, and when we took our first load down up to Iowa, and he's a professional trucker, and he said nobody uses CBs anymore, they use their cell phones. So that's kind of sad. Another great thing about America gone with the wind. Oh, look, a restaurant, barbecue. It's JL or JG, it's hard to tell. People in Oklahoma don't fully know how to make letters. They're used to carving into stone, like Fred Flintstone. They don't really go to school very much. There's Pueblo Viejo. How about that? Shit. They still watch VHS tape here in Oklahoma. And there's a Brahms over there. What the hell? How are we doing on gas?
Doing good. It's half a tank.
Half a tank of Joe Biden gas taken from the National Reserves for emergencies. But there's no chance there would be any emergencies. So it's good that he plundered our National Reserves. It's real good. There it is, Pryor car dealership, named after Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was damn funny. As a kid, when I went to the mall, I would go in, I would go first to the bookstore and I would look at comic books. I would look to see if a new issue of Mad Magazine, Famous Monsters of Filmland, Monster Times was out. Then I would go into a toy store to see what kind of toys were available. And then I would go into the record store, but I was different in that I would go first in a record store to the soundtrack section, the movie soundtrack section, and to the comedy section, which is how I discovered Stan Freberg, the comedian from the 50s that also did a lot of voice work for the Warner Brothers cartoons. A lot of the voices that weren't Mel Blanc were Stan Freberg. And Stan Freberg is the closest audio equivalent to early EC Mad comic books that's possible on vinyl. But I remember seeing all those Richard Pryor records, which of course I could never have bought, and all of them had names that could never be, all of his album titles could never be used today in a million years. And I remember seeing George Carlin records, all that. But then the other group I discovered through the radio, I heard around 1976-77, a local station played a whole side of Firesign Theater record with Nick Danger, Third Eye, the parody of an old radio show, a detective radio show, and I thought that was amazing. And that was very much like Mad Magazine as well. So I discovered Firesign Theater about that time, and National Lampoon, and it kind of just warped my imagination and sense of humor. Okay, so we're looking at our deluxe Pryor, Oklahoma, I guess, here.
Yeah, this is Pryor.
Pryor.